Double Penetration, Rancid Vat. I played a Rancid Vat with Cosmo. He was a singer for a while. I don't know why he didn't put that on his album. But and then let's see, Limecell, of course. I mean, I must have filled in about 10 other bands along the East Coast, and a couple guys played in Cocknews, Tunnel Rats, Alcoholics Anonymous. Double Penetration was formed after the Serial Killers by Mega Jimmy and Tim Omen, and Jimmy was the executioner. You should get an interview with him.
Is he still local?
Oh yeah, he's in Jersey. He's definitely someone you need to talk to. And Tim Omen. The guy that played drums before me was Rich Poor, who was Rich from Homo Picnic and Brutal Truth. So after he split the band, that's where I came in. And we played for a few years, and it was quite an extravaganza, these shows. We got kicked out of every good club in this city, that's for sure. And most of the time it was for like almost setting it on fire, or Jimmy blowing stuff up, and yeah. But the Ferenz one was a good one, because that guy was a total fucking asshole. The owner of the Ferenz, he was like this South Philly fucking Guido, but he would let like Rick D, he would like Rick D have these fucking shows there, and he knew it was just all these fucking dirty fucking punks that were gonna come out and drink beer and get fucked up and wreck his fucking bar. And so were the bands, you know, the bands were even fucking worse. So, I can't even remember who the fuck we... Actually, I played there with Rancid Vat, too, and that was going to be a fucking brawl there, too, with the fucking owner. Every goddamn time. He refused to fucking pay people because he said it's going to have to come out of what he was going to pay us to fix his fucking bar. And the place was a fucking dump, you know? And, so we're doing a Double Penetration thing, and Jimmy's out there in a fucking... I'm not sure if this is the show, but... it might be the one where he's wearing a meat loincloth. You know, this predates Lady Gaga, so... so a bunch of steakums around him, and his dick's hanging out, and he's got a double dong dildo, he's swinging around with an executioner mask, you know. We were doing the song Double Penetration, so I think we used to do a cover of I Stole Your Love by Kiss, and during that he would fucking, you know, bring out the torch and, you know, load up the lighter fluid, and next thing you know, fucking burst of fucking flames. And, you know, it's like nice white fucking tiles on the ceiling. Not anymore. This thing was fucking torch, and it was still like kind of like bubbling. And this guy fucking saw this, and he was fucking pissed. You know, he said, "Stop this immediately." Like, we're like, "Fuck it, dude." You know, I couldn't even tell you what happened after that, but I remember that. And so I guess the last show we played with them was at Nick's. Nick's was upstairs at Nick's was a great place. Second Street, right around the corner from Revival.
Okay.
But that's another Rick D. Rick D had that place for a while, and he had some really good shows there. We played there with Double Penetration and Rancid Vat. We had all kinds of like international and national acts coming through there. They were fucking killer, some fucking brutal shows. I remember the second to the last show there was with Rancid Vat, and I was fucking drunk as shit. And I had just gotten back from Florida, and on the way back, I stopped at south of the border and got a shitload of fucking fireworks, man. So we knew this was going to be the last hurrah at this fucking joint. I guess there was supposed to be one show after us. So we get on stage. I can't even fucking remember if we were the last band. It didn't even matter. But I went behind the kit and went and I got all these fucking Roman candles and fucking duct taped them to every fucking stand that I had. And I had a big 50,000 fucking pack of firecrackers. I put that in the bass drum. I had another 100,000 firecrackers. I draped all over the fucking stage. And all kinds of shit that I could just pick up and light and fucking fire people in the crowd and shit, you know. So we get done about 3 songs and I'm fucking waiting. I'm like, fuck this. And I'm fucking lighting these fuckers up and fucking light. I'm like, fuck this, dude. I was like, light that thing, you know. And Howie's just normally giving the crowd his shit, you know, throwing fucking shit at the fucking crowd, and people are giving him shit. Next thing you know, man, this place just goes up. Fucking Roman candles. The one I fucking had like I had it taped the wrong way, so this thing's fucking firing at me, and then the other ones are firing into the crowd. And this isn't a big fucking room, so this place is fucking filled with smoke. I mean, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my fucking face. And Kit was there. Kit was doing the sound. Yeah, Kit was there doing the sound. I was like, well, I think it's like, fuck, first or second show? No, first show. I'll tell you about the first show. This is probably his second or third show with us. And
this is still all double penetration.
No, this is Rancid Vat. Right
okay, all right.
You know, I go back and.
That's what. I'm sorry. I just had to clear that way.
Bullshit that comes out of my mouth. So, but yeah, this place it was fucking done, and I guess there was a couple skinheads in the back, and they're fucking smashing the fucking toilets in the back, and you have Nick's roast beef downstairs, which is a restaurant. So these fucking toilets are done, dude, and there's water fucking pouring out of them into the restaurant.
Yeah, right.
So the guy John that owned the place at the time, he's like this little fat Italian guy, and he was actually pretty cool. I don't know why the fuck they continued to book us, because every time we got booked there, so like either the fucking cops came, or they got sued for something, or I don't know, some kind of melee would break out, or fucking Howie would smash someone in the fucking head with a glass, or you know, it was always some kind of bullshit. Or Whiskey Rebels fucking smashing his head open with a bottle and fucking digging into his head. He's gushing blood all over the place. So that's how that went. Rancid Vat they started on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
And that was Phil and Marlon. And then they came to Philly, and they recruited Howie as the singer. And they had a drummer to begin with, and I guess they got into some shit with him, so I was the most logical choice since me and Howie worked together. And, you know, I fucking rule. Double Penetration, that was like right after the Serial Killers. That was like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
I'm assuming Limecell was after that.
Limecell was together before I got with them. They were probably like late 80s as well. And then they were actually like one of my favorite local bands. I never missed a fucking Limecell show. I knew every fucking song by heart. I could play any of that stuff. So when it was time for the drummer to go, it was, you know, they came to me and said, look, you know, what do you want to do? I said, fucking, what are you talking about? I didn't have to think twice about playing with these guys, you know. So I played the last Rancid Vat show with those guys down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It was a big show. I played in Cocktails that weekend as well. So I was feeling, they had a whole like Confederacy of Scum kind of thing going on at the time, you know. A lot of these bands are still around. There's a few that aren't, but the core group of those bands are actually still around, you know, Annie Scene, Hell Stomper, Cocktails. There was a bunch of really good bands that came out of that actually. Tunnel Rats are still doing some stuff. Tunnel Rats is like the drummer from the Tunnel Rats. He's Wimpy from the Queers, you know. So like all this stuff kind of goes hand in hand, you know. But so I got into Limecell, and one of the first things we did was record another album, you know. So we did a bunch of the older songs that people knew, like You're Not Punk, You're Dirty, and, you know. Played Marlboro Miles. I mean, every fucking killer song that they had, you know, we would do, and then we did a bunch of new stuff too. But that band was fucking brutal, man. There was always I remember we played it was Annie Scene, Rancid Vat, Limecell, and Annie Nowhere League at Nick's. And that was a fucking stab fest at that fucking thing, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Coming down the steps there was Vinny who used to hang out with Limecell. He was a good friend of ours. He died not too long ago. But some shit happened going down the steps. This dude's fucking smacking his girlfriend around, and Vinny's like, dude, you wanna fucking smack someone, fucking whatever, and then there's a fight with him, and then next thing you know, the whole fucking crew comes down, motherfuckers are fighting, Vinny gets stabbed in the neck, this one gets stabbed. I mean, it's fucking retarded. So, you know, there was always it was when music was dangerous, it seemed. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know if you would. I remember going to tons of shows, you know, like knowing like there's gonna be some fucking shit breaking out here, you know. You know, so, I mean, it could get fucking brutal. You know that, dude. You saw the shit that fucking went down. It was late 90s, you know, and then kind of getting into the, like, 2000, 2001, you know. But then you want to fast forward, you know, after a bunch of drug abuse and fucking failed marriage and all this other fucking horse shit and tattooing and the whole fucking 9 yards, then you fast forward to about now. It's about 4 years ago, you know, and I started playing music again, and the first band I got back in was with my wife. She was in a band from back in the day, Savage 3D. And she played another band, Lisa Christ Superstar, another Philly band. She used to book the Trot for a while too, actually. And fucking phenomenal guitar player, you know. I don't say it because of my wife. I fucking can't stand fucking women in bands, dude. I'm one of those fucking dudes. Maybe Wendy O, but like you're fucking pushing it there, dude. I really don't fucking. It's like, and Mega Jimmy, when you talk to him, he'll tell you the same fucking thing because I'm ripping it from him. It's like, you know when you have a nice big fucking steak on your plate and they put a little piece of fucking parsley on it and that's the garnish? That's what chicks are in a fucking band. It's like garnish. You know what I mean? It just makes it look that much fucking better. Don't make it taste better, but it makes it look a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, Lisa to me is like the steak. We were recording with Frank Phobia from Anthrophobia, another band that was playing in the area, PA. And these guys were doing their documentary, Pagan Babies were doing their documentary with him and mastering their whole catalog. And I guess Bruce couldn't play the final show, so they needed somebody to fill in. And Frank's like, "Hey, I got the fucking perfect punk rock drummer for you," you know. So he gave me a call, and I remember Eric fucking sending me this email. He's like, "Oh yeah, here's the like practice tape. You know, we'll see if you know you can play." I'm like, motherfucker, I invented that fucking beat. You know what I mean? Fucking telling me if I can play. You know, you don't play it with a double bass drum. I'm like, who fucking plays punk rock with a double bass drum?
All the kids.
Anyway, dude, I'm not a kid. You know what I mean? You know, I'm getting to be old fart status. So give me about like 10 more years. Then I can start talking shit like that. But, yeah, so we practiced like a motherfucker. You know, Mark came up a couple weeks before and knocked it out and played a fucking killer show. And these guys had the heels running. And I said, look, would you be interested in doing this? And listen to the stuff. I said, yeah, let's do it.
What?
I always dug Ruin, man. You know? I mean, you're probably them and man, I've seen the Serial Killer so many fucking times and it was always a fun show. And but you could tell towards the end those guys were fucked up, you know what I mean? The only one that wasn't was probably Mega Jimmy, you know. That dude, I think the strongest drug he's ever done is caffeine and pussy, you know what I mean? But
that's why it was so hard. That's why it was so hard for, like we were talking about American hardcore, about Philly not being really, you know, they didn't put us on that fucking map. They kept showing like,
no.
But the thing was because then no one could figure Philly out, man. Philly did, like Boston had it like almost like a signature sound. New York had a signature sound.
You know
when you went and said, well, your favorite bands were Ruin, Homo Picnic, Electric Love Muffin. That's three completely different, diverse. There's shit there.
There was so much different shit going on, you know what I mean? Then you had guys that were like playing fucking metal, like Limecell before Limecell was No Reason, you know what I mean? And they were heavier. And then those guys before that, you know, they were arresting officers. So I mean, you had all kinds of fucking different shit going on at the time. I remember hearing all that shit, dude. You know, like, I remember listening to KDU back in the day. There was always something good on there. Back in the day, I mean, it was fun. You know, you pretty much knew everyone. You knew who the fucking troublemakers were, you know. You're like, this dude's fucking starting to fight, dude. Definitely. That dude's definitely fighting tonight, you know, or that dude's going to be all fucked up and this, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I never really got clicky with anyone because most of that shit, dude, I was probably the only sober motherfucker around at the time, you know. And so I would go with maybe like one dude once in a while, but most of these shows I would just go myself just to see what the fuck was going on. I never had like a fucking crew I hung with, you know. I was never into that like kind of clicky kind of bullshit. If it was fucking cool, I'd go to the show, you know. Went to a lot of metal shows and hardcore shows and punk shows, you know. Wherever there was like good music being played, that's where I went, you know. Fuck, man, you remember they did a serial killers in Guar show at Revival. It was like Tad, serial killers in Guar.
Oh, I heard of that.
That was like Guar versus serial killers, and it was like shit. Like I liked seeing that kind of shit, you know. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm not like this fucking punk purist, and I can tell you who this one and that one is. Fuck that. I fucking, you know, I play drums. I just fucking do what I enjoy doing. You know, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I mean? If I couldn't tell you this band from that band, I really don't give a fuck. I mean, that makes me not cool.